G'day champion, it's Stuart Stone here from Financial Freedom Over 40, and today I'm going to answer the question, when is a good time to procrastinate? So let's get into it. Okay guys, you know what to do by now. Like and comment on this video, subscribe to our channel, ring the notifications bell so you get notified and never miss a video. And now let's get into today's message. Okay, so we've heard so many times, especially from you high achievers out there, that procrastination is a bad thing. And probably in many situations and scenarios, yes, you're absolutely right. But, and it's a significant but, why do we procrastinate in the first place? In other words, every emotion we have, whether it's happiness, anger, running ahead, or exercising a bit more caution, it all has its place, it all has its purpose. And so I'm going to throw this one out there today, when is a good time to procrastinate? And it comes from a conversation I had with a gentleman a couple of weeks ago. So for those of you that don't know, I do a little bit of consulting, coaching with individuals and businesses to help them move forward in areas that they're stuck in their lives. And this story is about Wayne in Western Australia. And for those of you that don't know, Western Australia went through a mining boom and then it went through a mining crash. And a couple of years ago, Wayne lost his home to the banks in the mining crash. So times were pretty dark. Young family, three-year-old and 5-year-old child, wife, he's the sole breadwinner, and they've just lost their house. In fact, they've lost everything, and they're about $120,000 in debt. And Wayne's situation was one that was dependent upon the mines. He had no income coming in. Now, the good side of the equation is that Wayne managed to get himself out of debt in under 2 years. And being on the phone with him, it's like, dude, you got out of $120,000 worth of debt and you're now moving forward and you did it in just 2 years. How the heck did you do that? And so he told his story, and this is something that we're going to talk about in upcoming episodes here, specifically what Wayne did and what you can do too if you're finding yourself in massive debt. But when we got to the human side of the conversation, it's like, mate, how was that for you? How tough was that? And he said, well, I actually learnt that procrastination can be a good thing. And I said, well, tell me more. And to be totally blunt, he said, you know what? I had some pretty dark days where I actually contemplated killing myself. I contemplated ending my life. And it's like, whoa, thanks mate for being so transparent and so open, but bloody hell, that's pretty heavy. He said, yeah. And I said, well, what kept you going? He said, well, I procrastinated. He said, he'd read a book and he had some counseling when he went through all of this emotional upheaval, financial stress, family stress. His whole world had been turned upside down and shaken around, and he just did not know how to cope. So being a smart guy, he sought help. And for any of you guys going through this, where you've gone through a divorce, your life's turned upside down, you've been downsized, right-sized, lost your property or whatever else, take a leaf out of Wayne's book, go and seek some help. But here's the whole story in a nutshell. So Wayne said to me, he said, you know what? He said, what I had to learn, the biggest thing you learn when people are contemplating something, as life-ending as suicide, is that the first thing the average Joe says is, don't do it. You've got so much to live for. He said, when you're in that hole, it's the worst thing you can hear. It's bullshit. It just has no relevance, and you all of a sudden understand that person on the other end of that conversation just does not know what you're going through. That absolute despair and desperation. So he said what his counselor said to him was, well, yeah, sure. It's always an option. But how about we just kick that can down the road for a month and reassess then? And hey, if things are moving in the right direction, we'll kick the can down the road again. So that's exactly what Wayne did for 2 years. He kicked that can 1 month down the road at a time, and he made a promise to himself, to his family, that in that month, I'm going to do everything I can to move my situation not to perfection, not out of debt. So for all you high achievers out there who think perfection or nothing, listen up. He just decided, if in this month I've made a positive change in my life to get me in the direction of where I want to go, we're going to kick that option, that possibility. We're going to procrastinate for another month and kick that down the road for another month, and then continue working at it. So within 2 years, he had gone from $120,000 in debt to cash flow neutral, and then we had our conversation to how to launch him cash flow positive. And that's what I do, talking with people about high income skills. So Wayne's well on his way to jumping forward into high income skills. Again, what's a high income skill? It's something where you can earn $10,000 or more a month working across any industry with any business, because it's a skill set that you've got that is totally transferable. So we're going to talk about that more in upcoming episodes. But for now, guys, when is it a good time to procrastinate? When you're looking at a permanent solution to a temporary problem. So take a note from Wayne. Number one, if it's a temporary problem, kick that can down the road and then work like hell, work smart, reach out, get help, and then move your life forward. And then when life has moved forward, you can then take that option off the table and get on with enjoying life again. So that's today's message. For more videos like that one, you know what to do by now. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Click on the notifications so you're kept up to date with upcoming episodes, and make sure you like and comment, ask questions, especially about high income skills. We'll check them out for you, and I'll come up with another video for you very soon. Have an awesome day.